How's it going? Daniel Grimmett here from Dark Label Music. Thanks again for tuning in to another video here. If you've been liking the videos recently, please hit that like button or subscribe. There'll be much more excellence coming in the future. So recently I did a survey to my mailing list and it was awesome. I actually got a overwhelming amount of response, and the purpose of doing that was to just get a feel for what you guys wanted to know, what you guys wanted to learn more about. I looked for topics and issues and obstacles that came up often so that I could make sure what I'm making for you here is what you guys want to see, because I have plenty of ideas. I could talk about this all day, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. And there was a common theme that came up, okay? And this common theme or common question, I guess, was, Dan, where do we find artists with a budget? Okay, where are those clients with a budget? We see you posting wins that your consulting clients are getting, where they're landing these projects, but I don't live near any artists that have that, or I'm not talking to any artists that have that. Where are they? And this was interesting to me because it almost seems like folks think there's this cave or this particular city or this particular place where all the artists with a budget are hiding out, and they just need to tap into it. And once they tap into it, once they find the place where all of these artists with the budget are, they'll be set. The answer is going to be disappointing to some of you, but hopefully eye-opening. Artists with a budget are all around you. They're everywhere. But there may be reasons that you're not linking up with them or you're not attracting them. So this video, I'm going to go through those 5 reasons so you can again audit your business and see what you can fix and improve, okay? So reason number 1 is the mirror effect. I talk to a lot of producers. All of them want these artists that are, investing in themselves and putting out content and networking and, doing all this stuff and doing whatever it takes to get what they want, okay? And since we're talking about a budget here, I'll put a highlight there on they want to invest in their music. They work hard to have a budget. And the reality is that most of you guys are not doing that. Most of you guys, and I don't mean this to be mean, but it's just true. Most of you guys are not putting 100% in, investing in yourself, doing whatever necessary, putting out content. So you're not doing that yourself, yet expecting to deserve these clients that are doing that. Now, I know this sounds a little woo-woo and spiritual, but I promise you, when you start doing those things, you show up differently. You show up in the marketplace differently. You show up on your sales calls differently. You show up in your content differently. And people can tell. People can just tell that when you're doing it. So if you're not doing those things, don't expect to deserve clients that are doing those things. That's number 1. Number 2 is brand disconnect. I don't know if I'm spelling that right. You get the point. Brand disconnect. Okay? Again, you want these artists who invest a lot of time and money into their brand, their messaging, their story, getting their story out there, looking good. Yet you have some template website that you copied with a bunch of pictures of audio gear and other shit that artists don't care about. And you're wondering why these artists with a budget aren't coming by your website and be like, oh yeah, this is the guy. Or your profiles aren't primed. I go to your Facebook and there's memes all over the place. There's nothing that even says you're a producer. Go to Instagram, same thing. Nothing that says you're a producer, or it's so vague that I don't even know what you do or if you're any good. Yet you expect these people with money to throw money at you. I'm not giving any money to anyone that is not putting themselves out there and is clear about what they do. So that's number 2. There's brand disconnect. You don't look expensive, so they're passing right by you. Number 3. I feel mean in this video. It's not supposed to be mean. It's supposed to help, but also Get your shit together. Similar deal here. I always fuck this word up. Content disconnect. Same thing, okay? When I'm auditing a business, sometimes they'll be like, hey, they're maybe experienced producer, like, Dan, I want to work with artists that have like had a couple releases under their belt. That's who I feel like I can help the most. Talk about this, talk about that. I understand their problems. I understand the kind of content they react to, but they're not doing it. They're making videos for like other producers and shit. So your content isn't on par. The content's for beginners, And in general, a lot of people, when they start making content, it's very towards beginners, which is fine. Your market may be beginners. Maybe you really help artists who are like just starting off, and that's totally cool. That's a huge market. That's the biggest market. But there's a lot of you that help people a little farther along down the way, but your content doesn't reflect that. Your content doesn't really you're either afraid to, share everything you know, or you're afraid that you're going to come off as like an influencer kind of guru guy by, giving advice or discussing certain topics. There's ways around that. But yeah, the content doesn't connect with the type of artist you want to work with. Okay. So if that doesn't connect, they're not going to be looking at you like, okay, that's my guy. Number 4. This is a big one. Your sales process. An offer. Not winning on the spelling today, folks. Double down on your strengths. Sales process and offer. So a lot of people just assume that because someone's an artist, a musician, that they don't have money. So I actually should have wrote that down here. Mindset is probably one that I should have wrote down here. If you're in this and you truly believe that most artists are broke, then that's what you're going to attract. It's not true. It's not true. Like, are more artists like struggle with money than bankers? Sure, probably. But that doesn't mean that every person that makes music doesn't have money, or they're not going to work to get the money they want to buy something they want and need. People buy shit they don't need all the time. People overspend on stuff all the time. Artists that are on a budget whip out a credit card to pay for a $2,000 Fender guitar. So you guys want to blame the artist for that. It's not the artist's fault. It's your fault. Fender got them to pay $2,000 for a guitar. Gucci got them to pay $500 for a t-shirt. Okay? So if you're getting clients on the phone and they're saying no, that doesn't always mean that they don't have a budget, or that, they don't, have any money to invest in their art. It may just mean that they don't want to invest it with you. They're not making the connection between what you do and them reaching their goals or getting traction towards their goals. So your offer is probably not what they want, or your sales process, you're not, again, able to connect those dots for them. So if you're just like another producer and yeah, you're pretty good, there's a lot of people that are good. If you're really good, there's a lot of people that are really good. What's the special sauce? What's the competitive edge? If you don't have that, then they're going to look at you and be like, yeah, this is pretty cool. It's a decent price, but I can get it for this guy for cheaper. So that piece is probably one of the biggest ones. It's not that these artists don't have budgets, or that they wouldn't, increase their spending a little bit to get something they really want. It's just that you don't have that thing they want yet, or you're not conveying it if you do. And the last one, number 5, this is just a theme of of most of my videos here. Your numbers aren't on. You're simply not in front of enough artists on a monthly basis through your marketing efforts. A piece of this is a numbers game. If you're in front of 1,000 new artists a month, there's gonna be a percentage of those that, are a fit for you, have the budget, and want to invest. If all the first 4 things are right. But if you're in front of 10 artists a month and you talk to 5 of them and none of them have the budget, then you start to assume that all artists everywhere don't have a budget. The world's a big place. And if you're not in front of as many artists as possible because you're whatever, afraid of marketing, sorry, the numbers just aren't in your favor. So anyway, that got dark there at the end. Obviously, a serious stuff to consider fixing in the business. Drop some comments below or questions below in the comments. I'll try to do my best to help, of course, and I'll be making videos on all of these coming up here soon. So don't worry, I'm not just going to leave you with doom and gloom, but I want to just kind of start to get your mind thinking about these things. So again, drop a like, subscribe. Is that the right? Drop a like, hit the like button, smash the like button, subscribe if you dig the videos. Appreciate all you guys tuning in the past month when I've been re-upping my video content here. It means a lot to me. And of course, in the description, you'll find cool things like downloads to the producer files, a link to my class, and a link to have a conversation with me if you want to chat about your production business. Have a good one. Thanks.